Your voice, your opinion, your community. Fact TV, free speech, protected.
Wasn't the first one a found footage movie?
Yeah.
And this one isn't?
No.
Like Book of Shadows?
How dare you, sir?
All this and more on Gory Story Time.
Warning. Gory Story Time is a horror movie review show by a son and his dad who thought that letting his 5-year-old watch scary movies was acceptable. If you are offended by horror or talk about blood and gore by a child, or if you don't want horror movies from the 60s through today spoiled, then there is a remote stuck in your couch cushion next to potato chip crumbs. Use it. And of course, parental discretion is advised.
Why? You didn't use any.
Shut up and start the show.
Welcome to Gory Story Time. I'm your host, Jason.
I'm his co-host and his father, Craig. And quickly, before we start talking about this, we're going to be not doing an episode for the next couple of weeks until we have something big for episode 300 coming. And just like we did for 1 and 200.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
So, if it takes a couple of weeks, hey, we got to make sure that it's as good as we can.
Perfect. Platinum record coming.
I mean, I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
It is.
But anywho, so this week we're doing our 299th review, not counting the ones you did with your mom.
Yeah. Or the couple that we reviewed, the Strange Events. I don't think we counted those either.
We didn't. We did some special episodes, but we're not counting those as regular episodes. So
this is $2.99.
And we'll be off for a couple weeks. But anyway, for $2.98, we did The Last Exorcism. And he had immediately followed it up by watching part 2. So then he bought the DVDs or Blu-rays and said, hey, you want to watch this? And I was like, sure, might as well. So if you have, if you've seen these and you want to hear what we thought of the first one, just one episode back.
Exactly.
Anywho, so the basic premise is the girl that was the main focus of the first movie is trying to move on with her life. Right?
That she is. And
everything around her seems to be trying to drag her back into the Satan-worshipping cult.
Yeah.
Right? That's basically the plot of this movie.
It's been a little bit since the last one, and then she's trying to move on and things start showing back up.
And like you said at the beginning, the first one was found footage. This one, it's a world where the footage has been found and uploaded to YouTube.
So she's mildly famous on accident.
She's mildly famous, but it's supposed to be the real world. And
has seen this footage and they're reacting.
So anyway.
Yeah.
The first movie is canon to this as it had happened to her.
Yes.
Anything else?
Watch it. Go watch it. Before we review it. I'm going to spoil things. I know.
I try to tell them not to, but we also give a warning at the beginning that things get spoiled.
Yeah.
So nothing else really to say until we show you the trailer so you can see exactly what we're talking about.
Do you remember your name? Do you know where you are? What month it is? What year?
Whatever you're running from, we'll find you here.
So, are you from Cult in the Woods or something?
No one's tried to contact you.
No, sir. Hello? Hello?
I found you.
What are you watching?
Watching you.
Stop it! He's still out there.
Who is?
The demon. Abelard. Jesus loves me, this I know.
All we have to do is accept his love and let him in your heart. And you can't run from him. After the fall comes the rise. And he has great plans for you.
He'll kill us all.
He's coming for you.
He loves you so much.
No one can have you but him.
We'll set you free. Believe in him.
We're gonna make you better. I promise. A piece of him is still inside you. We will summon him. No?
Well, all right. That was actually a decent trailer. Didn't
Yeah.
spoil too much, but it gave like
It really gave you your
and it
your
put stuff out of
what
order
to
so
know.
you don't know what's
Yeah.
going on. So yeah, I like that. I like that.
Oh, excuse me.
I guess the next thing is I have to explain to people why we're here, huh?
Yeah.
See,
Money.
some of you may have clicked on these videos thinking, obviously, they like horror movies, so they're reviewing horror movies. And now that we're getting more and more subscribers, which, by the way, any new subscribers, hey, good to see
Yeah,
you.
share.
Yeah, share, spread to any of your horror
Keep making us that
fan friends.
moolah.
Yeah, right. We don't have enough to make any on YouTube, so instead we sell ourselves to large corporations that actually exist.
Yes.
And we promote their real products that you can buy.
Dink.
This week, we got. I like to say I've said this a few times. We got paid in one of those big styrofoam checks that they give out. Yeah, and it was so we could advertise these products. Let's see. Gory Story Time is brought to you by Demon Dash, the first exorcist delivery service. How does it work? You may ask. Simple, I reply. If you have a demon possession in your home, office, or wherever you happen to be, click on your Demon Dash app. It will connect you with one of our priests who is locked and loaded with a Bible, a book on knowing the types of demons, holy water, and the power of Christ. We guarantee our work and promise that as long as the check or credit card clears, no repossessions. We cleanse the hell out of you.
No repossessions. That's great.
And we cleanse the hell out of you.
Yes. And by the new self-help book, Just Act Like It Never Happened. Do you have trauma? Just act like it never happened. Abusive relationships? Just act like it never happened. Your parents belittled you growing up? Just act like it never happened. You name the past pain and we'll help you pretend it never took place. Just act like it never happened. Coming soon to a dollar store bin near you.
All right. Now we get to the part where we tell you usually 20 facts behind the scenes. I had to stretch to get 18. Sometimes it's easier than others.
Yep.
I didn't watch some of the special features. I probably could have got 2 more, but
maybe, yeah. We'll do plenty.
You want to go first? Or you want me to?
I can.
Okay.
Aside from archive footage from the previous film, Ashley Bell and Lewis Hertham, all right, are the only actors to reprise their roles from the first film.
Unlike its predecessor, this film is not a found footage format.
Yeah.
Which we already said, but hey.
As part of the promotion for the upcoming release of the film, a salon scare prank was set up in which an actress would hide behind salon mirrors and scare the customers. The actual prank is included on the DVD/Blu-ray release of the film. Huh.
You remember when some of those went viral? Like,
yeah,
we've seen a
love
few.
those.
Yeah, me too. When Frank Merle pulls up to the driveway of the home for girls, Nell's fingers are pressed against the window of the car. They form the symbolic 666.
Yeah. When Neil is cleaning hotel rooms, a picture of an owl with long legs can be seen on the wall. The picture is that of a demon called Stolas, as depicted in 19th century French demonology text called Dictionnaire Infernal.
Sony Pictures expressed interest in developing a third film after the modest box office success, grossing over $25 million on a $5 million budget. Ashley Bell said in interviews she was open to reprising her role of Nell again, but the third film has not been made due to lack of public interest.
I'm publicly interested, all right? I'm saying it now.
They need more people to be, though.
Now, share this video, gain traction.
Anyway.
A working title for the film was Beginning of the End, The Last Exorcism 2.
Which actually makes sense without giving anything away.
Yeah.
It was not screened in advance for critics.
Okay. Nell's full name is revealed to be Nell Margaret Sweetser.
It was originally rated R by the MPAA for a scene where Chris slits his throat graphically until it was edited for a PG-13 rating. The unedited version of the scene and some other deleted scenes are restored on the unrated DVD and Blu-ray.
Calder attempts to rid Nell of the demon Abalom by transferring its soul into the body of a sacrificed chicken. In biblical times, chickens and hens were used to aid witch hunters and were believed to be symbols of God and light.
Nell is smiling in the picture that the man takes with his phone. When the photo is shown, she's not smiling.
When Nell asks what the other girls are watching on the YouTube video, the first initial scene where the girls turn the monitor to show her, the caption for the video says, "Camera found in the woods." However, when the camera zooms in on the video, the caption now reads, "Crazy possessed girl in woods."
That seems like a hard one to mess up. Like, you already had it
set up there. Yeah. Unless it was like in her head, something messing with her.
But then it wouldn't be a mistake, and that was listed under goofs.
Yeah, who knows?
When Nell wakes up and Gwen is gone, her alarm clock is flashing, making it seem like her encounter during the night caused it to lose power. But the next shot, there's a longer view of the room, and the alarm clock is completely off.
When Jared leaves the bathroom and goes into the kitchen, the blankets are alternately off and on the bed between shots.
In the closing scene, Nell starts a car. The dash clock says 8:13. 30 seconds later, it cuts back to the clock, which now reads 8:06.
It's a countdown.
Sure.
The movie begins with Nell showing up in a stranger's house alone. How she escaped from the cult that was holding her captive at the end of the previous movie is never addressed or even questioned. Sure, but, I mean, the big, giant, fiery explosion could have meant escape was very easy.
Not necessarily. Dude, she was tied up.
And then exploded.
The ropes don't explode, you nerd.
Okay. Just a quick science fact here. Ropes burn.
And if they burn enough to make the ropes not hold you, they burn you too.
Sure, but she was demon-possessed. It could have healed her. If it wants control of the body, who knows?
And in the movie Haunted House 2, Malcolm's body folds up like in this movie when he's possessed. It's what's his name? Marlon Wayans from Scary Movie.
Yeah.
The Haunted House movies.
Keckner was in the first one too.
I have not seen 2, so I should. I've seen 1.
I haven't seen one in a while.
We own 1.
I think we might own 2.
I don't think
Weirdly,
I do.
yeah.
I don't think I do. But anywho.
Anyway.
You know what we forgot to do?
No.
Explain that was the meat and beef of the show.
Oh my goodness, the meat and beef of the show. We just had the meat and beef of the show and didn't even mention it?
We didn't mention it was the meat and beef of the show.
You know, I like to call it the meat and beef of the show.
I know, because he meant meat and potatoes, but he's low carb. What are you going to do?
You know, potatoes are bad for you. Yeah, we'll just pretend that happened before. Okay. Rotten Tomatoes is a thing that exists.
It is. Hey, you want to do this one in order then?
I do. Yeah, we'll do it on next week's episode. Oh, wait. So Rotten Tomatoes is a thing that exists.
It is. And here's the way it's supposed to work. They take all of the official critics and they break their scores down into positive or negative. And then they tell you the percent that are positive.
Yeah.
Basically.
The critics had this at a 15%.
And they also let the people vote.
Yes, they do.
With horror and comedy, it tends to be higher. I like to point that out every week. And the people do have it higher at 26%, but it's still rotten in both cases. This is why they didn't make a third one.
Yeah, well, I don't care what
I
those
think a
people
lot
think.
of people probably were like, hey, you don't
The first
do
one
it.
was the found footage.
Yeah.
Like, what the heck?
That really bothers people.
Yeah, well.
And that was one of the biggest problems with Blair Witch 2,
I mean,
speaking
to
of
those
Book of
people,
Shadows.
Yeah, well, that movie was terrible.
Well, it was. It was also
This one
horribly
was,
acted,
This one was
written,
not
and
that
starred.
bad.
and
All right, this one was
filmed
definitely much better than that.
Sure.
Jeez,
Yeah, when he saw like the opening questions, I write them to usually have something humorous, and he was like, he didn't want to compare this movie to that movie. He's like, really?
I want to compare almost any movie to that movie.
Well,
Ugh.
Killer Bed, the bed that eats.
Much better.
Or
That's what I'm
whatever it
talking
was
about
called.
right there. Deathbed, the bed that eats.
Deathbed, not Killer Bed. Silly me.
And it wasn't even a subtitle; it was the whole title.
I know.
One name.
Yeah, there was no colon.
No. Well, I have to assume if it eats. Never mind.
It also sheets.
Yeah, get it? It's a bed.
Anywho, so yeah, the people had it at 26, which is still low. That's why they never made a third one.
Yeah, I don't care.
I know we liked it, so what was your least favorite part?
All right. So after it is pretty, like, obviously stated in the first movie a bunch, but then also reciprocated in this one, that this is definitely a demon.
Right.
Like a demon, you get rid of demons. How? With Jesus. All right. And then they go to basically like a weird cult
Right.
at the end of the movie to try to fix the demon.
No.
I mean, they weren't using the right stuff.
Did you not understand that the entire thing was her brother was part of the cult, and that cult worshipped the demon?
No.
Yes, that
was
was
at the end of this movie.
At the end of this
movie.
movie?
Yeah, where they're trying to take it out of her.
Yeah.
It's like not.
I thought you were
they're
talking
not
about the first
using
movie.
the
I'm
right
like,
stuff.
yeah. Well,
They were like,
and it also didn't work. So there you
right. So that was my least favorite thing, was the fact that these people thought they were going to stop a demon with demon power.
go. Well,
It was kind of pathetic to me.
or with non-god power.
It's like, how do you get rid of a bad with good?
Well, two wrongs don't make a right. Two evils don't make a good.
Right.
Well, I guess that makes sense. All right. My least favorite part was watching it the first time. It led into a couple of things that looked like they were going to happen. And it would have made
Cool
sense.
ideas. Yeah.
And then they never followed through. Like, she gets to this place, immediately someone calls her a weirdo or whatever.
Yep.
And you're like, she's going to get bullied here for being different. And then 10 seconds later, she's best friends with all of the people that it would have made more sense if they bullied her.
Right.
Not that I want people to be bullied, because that's awful, but like, hello?
I was watching it with my wife, who had dealt with a couple of places, and she was like, no. They would have picked on you for being the weird one.
And then the second thing was they show her and her new best friend, and it looks like they're about to kiss, and it's like, nope, I'm just going to let you use makeup for your first time. And it was weird, because it definitely was trying to make you think that.
Yep.
And I'm like, neither one of them's
Raw
that
out of
attractive. I'm
underneath,
okay
you know?
with not watching them kiss,
Right,
but
it's like set up.
who am I to talk about
nothing.
attractive?
Well,
Let's be honest.
Yeah, it's true. You're ugly.
Interestingly, so many people have been commenting on videos on YouTube that you look like Jack Black. I don't think so, but anywho, what was your favorite scene?
So, spoilers ahead here, but the absolute ending where it's the end of the world, and the demon wins.
It took over her and
started lighting the whole city on fire.
Well, but it stopped before we get to know.
This gets to go on, at least as far as I'm concerned, the same list as Halloween 3, where it ends with, and then
and what was that?
Everybody just dies.
Life? Was that the one with
Life,
the alien
where,
life form?
like, if it touches the Earth, everybody dies,
And it
then
ends
it
with it
crashes
landing?
to Earth, and it's like, yeah, all right. So
Credits.
it goes on a short list of the end of the movie is the end
Life
of the
2,
world.
it's just like shots of the planet empty.
Right. I mean, it would be all death.
My favorite part was when they were with the new cult. I wasn't even thinking about that when you brought up the cult. I'm like, the one from the first one? No. She had some stuff like the demon crawling under her skin and her belly.
Yeah.
And the special effect, they did a good job. Like, it looked...
They had to stick with mostly practical, you know?
I'm
$5
guessing
million.
so.
They're
Right.
not getting a lot of computer.
Yeah, because the computer wouldn't have necessarily looked as good as it did.
Yeah.
I don't know that it was practical, but it looked good, whatever they did.
Yeah.
So that would be my favorite, just because I like realism in horror movies once in a while.
I mean, like, it wasn't as good as the first one, in my opinion.
Sure.
But, like...
But on a scale of
definitely
1
holds
to
up.
10...
I'm going to probably give this a 7.
7?
6.5.
You know what? I'm going 6.5, which means, like, I would watch it again, but, like...
I would watch
the first one way more. You know how I would watch this again? If they came out with a third, I would start from the beginning, watch
watch them all
1,
over
2,
again.
and then go into the theater and see 3.
Yeah.
But, like, I would
see
watch 1
3.
alone. I would watch 1, 2 back to back, knowing there was a third.
I would go watch a part 3.
Do you think Sony Pictures is watching?
Yes.
You think they're watching us?
Yeah.
Your wife doesn't watch us.
They're keeping us down.
She's like, why would I? She's like, I'm not really into Jason Jake's humor. Yeah. And you're like, but I'm Jason
I'm really
Jakes.
a Jason Jakes fan, yeah.
Yeah, which isn't great for your relationship, is it? No.
I'm not a Jason Jakes fan.
No, she likes you. She just doesn't like things you like.
Yeah. Like fun.
Even herself. Anyway, on a scale of 1 to 10, we said 6.5, so that's it, right?
Yeah.
Why don't we throw this stuff up and wrap her up?
You can watch this show on Fact TV channel 1082, Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. and Fridays at 7 p.m.
You can check us out on Facebook, like Fact TV and Gory Story Time. Gory Story Time, like there's like 1,300. Now, if they all subscribed,
every single one of those people on Facebook could just go boop,
hit subscribe and click
like every single.
But we'll get to that in a second. What's the next thing?
Oh yes, you can like us on Facebook.
No, I said that.
You said that. You can factaid.com.
Right.
You can watch the back episodes. You can watch this episode eventually.
And you can follow us on X. I'm at Craig Jakes, all one word, all lowercase.
I'm at Jiggly Firm Brain. I only tweet things that he says that I find funny in or out of context. But
and he needs to start doing it again. We keep saying this week after week, but like, it's annoying.
Yeah.
Well, there's some funny stuff.
Yeah, well, I look like Jack Black. You don't.
What?
All right, yeah.
You look like Jack Gray.
Well, not yet.
If you ordered Jack Black on Temu. Anyway. You know, ordering on Temu joke is basically
the Wish version.
The Wish version of ordering on Wish joke.
Yeah. All right.
Anyway.
Enough cross-promotion on accident.
And check out on YouTube, go to Gory Story Time. The two things that should come up is the actual page and the page for Fact TV. Like, subscribe, click the bell, all that good stuff. And
yeah.
Till next week.
Till our 300th episode.
Yeah, so not next week.
I have been your host, Jason.
I'm his co-host and father, Craig, and sweet dreams.